Right, great. Hey guys, welcome. My name is Nina Means. I'm the director for Austin Community College Fashion Incubator, and we're back here for another coffee talk, getting our week started. I took last week off. My little one had a birthday, so we've got to family first. But it's so good to be back to reconnect about some of the things that have been going on with the Fashion Incubator. We've got a few more weeks before Austin Fashion Week kicked off. And so we'll be working alongside of Fashion by Texas and Macy's to create a really unique experience. We've got our new Future of Fashion series coming back for the first time this year with Macy's. So if you haven't gotten a chance to sign up for that class, that's on Eventbrite. It's a free course, 7 weeks. It's a Wednesday night where you can learn really what does it take to start a fashion label. So we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship. We're going to be talking about product development, supply chain, sustainability, fashion technology, capital, all the things that it's going to take for you to start the process of becoming a fashion label. This is something that a lot of creatives here in the Austin area, especially, but it's virtual, so pretty much anyone can take it. In this area specifically, we've got a lot of creatives, a lot of incredibly passionate, design-minded professionals, but they're wanting to really explore what does it mean to start my own fashion business? What does that actually look like? What does it look like to be a fashion house? What do I spend my days doing when I actually go from, making things that I love or things that, I might share with friends or family to something where I'm going to share with the public? How do I make this more commercial? How do I reach more people? And so if that's you and something that you're curious about, this may be the class for you. So this class is really where we start our special kind of space of self-discovery. So if you are one of those designers who, or maybe you're not a full designer yet, maybe you've been partnering with a pattern maker or you've been partnering with, another creative to create a fashion brand. We really do support teams as well as individuals who are creating new products. And we've seen incredible success from a variety of different kinds of people who show up to do these kinds of projects. I have, one brand in particular who's more of like a solopreneur, but they are starting to work with contractors for the first time. And, they showed at New York Fashion Week this last February, but they're now working on a sustainable capsule collection to go alongside of some of their other lifestyle products and jewelry and, fragrance and other things they've already developed. Then I have another brand who is much more technical. Like their background is actually in project management. And they've been able to pull together resources from three-dimensional designers to even getting patents on new development and new techniques and technologies that they're developing for their brand. We have a wide variety of founders. And so this Macy's course that we're launching on April 13th, that class is really going to help you figure out, is this something that I really want to do, in terms of, creating a brand, but then do I need to actually apply for the Fashion Incubator, which is a 12-month curriculum, or do I need a little bit more time to, figure out what I really want, or to decide what kind of customer I really want to reach? These are some things that will help you sort out where you are personally before you start to apply for some of our other programs. And so today's coffee talk, if you haven't kind of guessed where I'm going with this, is really to give you a bit of a roadmap of how do you work with a fashion incubator. We have a wide variety of different things that we're able to do. We like to kind of condense those options into educate, incubate, and accelerate. And educate is really where you start with that self-discovery phase, with Macy's as our sponsor for the Future of Fashion series. It's really about pulling together all of those who are considering fashion as their future, fashion as their future business or career or entrepreneurship, to really look at what does it take in order for me to start my own label. Then once you've kind of decided, yes, I in fact want to start my own label, I'm going to put together a few samples of what it is that I want to see get developed, as I look for, funding, I look for more customers, determining more product market fit. get a better idea of what it is I want to do, I, as an early stage brand, before I really gotten good traction with my sales, is I applied for the Fashion Incubator program. It's an intensive application that's going to open up at the end of May. And so you have about another almost 2 months before that application opens. We will have that application open for the better part of the summer. And then we will be going through interviews and reviews with our advisory board to make the selection for the next cohort. So cohort 3 will start this fall. That program is really a 12-month intensive where we get a chance to walk you through a variety of different modules of how to commercialize your fashion. It's not, it's whenever people look at what we do, people will remember the fashion shows, they'll remember all the red carpets, but they don't necessarily know what it takes to get the clothes in the store or on the online e-commerce shop or made to order or customized design. A lot of people won't really understand how does that work anyway? What is that all about? And so this concept of commercialization, understanding the process and of how product goes from idea to saleable collection is really what you're going to gain as a part of the Fashion Incubator program, as well as opportunities to participate in a wide variety of other activities. As things come across our table, like Austin Fashion Week and pop-ups at Macy's, we open these opportunities up to our fashion designers, as well as alumni, to participate in those moments together. So at the end of April, if you're watching Fashion by Texas, you're coming out for the fashion shows at the Domain here in Austin, you'll get a chance to see a group of our brands presenting their collections all batched together. You'll see a lot of the kinds of products that we support at the Fashion Incubator, as well as getting a chance to see now, buy now, wear now, as a part of our pop-up shop with Macy's. And so we'll be working with the Domain location as well as Barton Creek Square to create installations where you can buy local Austin fashion, which will be really exciting. The last area, so I told you about educate, I told you about incubate, and now accelerate. Whenever we accelerate brands, we work with the U.S. Embassy in Cairo through the City of Austin Economic Development, City of Austin Economic Development Department, specifically the Global Business Division. We've had an incredible success with a pilot program that we designed and implemented on behalf of the City of Austin. That targeted 16 brands that came from Austin, Texas, as well as Cairo, Egypt, throughout the country of Egypt. We had brands that were from the north and south of Cairo, and as well as brands that were a part of that Cairo design community, as well as Austin brands that were a bit more advanced. And so when we're talking about acceleration, we're talking about companies and brands that have incredible, they've achieved some product market fit, they have some early stage traction in their brands, and now they're really ready to start looking at what does it take to scale. And so as we're looking at the scaling space, acceleration, we're now able to connect them with bigger and greater resources to be able to do that. And so those resources look like a travel exchange to debut that product in a different country, introductions to manufacturers so that they can nearshore their production, as opposed to kind of making the product and then going through that process of importing goods backwards and forwards, import export. There's a lot of benefits, as well as just kind of that community and connection to industry resources, veteran mentors, as well as just some really great partnerships and relationships that have formed. A couple of our brands that were in the US and in Egypt created international partnerships. And that was really exciting to see, to be able to support the growth of one another. And so we have the brand League of Rebels, led by Musa Atto, as well as Orkadi, which is led by Hendakid in Cairo, and them creating a new partnership with their products to sell and grow their brands together. So these are some of the things that we're getting a chance to do when we educate, incubate, accelerate. And, there's so many other success stories to share. These are just a couple of the ones that, kind of bubbled up to the top. But as you see things like South by Southwest, our participation with Austin Design Week or Austin Fashion Week, as well as our connections with Women's Wear Daily and some of the exciting articles that have come out about what's happening here in Austin in terms of fashion, I will tell you, there are a lot of companies that are eyeing this area in terms of growth, in terms of relocation, and some of them have already started that process. Manufacturers, seasoned manufacturers who are relocating to this area, personnel that we're working on developing at the community college so that they're ready to go work for these really exciting new companies who are relocating. But we know that the ecosystem of any powerful industry has a variety of different components, that you've got a viable workforce, that you're training the next class of leaders, as well as people who want to support those leaders. And then you've got small business that has room to thrive, as well as resources that are needed to help them to do that. And then large companies that kind of create a bit of a canopy, and really allow for some of those additional resources to come to the area because they're here. And so we're really excited to continue the growth of this program, the growth of the local fashion industry here in Austin. There's so much work still to be done, but this is just our part. So as we're looking at these three primary pillars, as we're looking at workforce, our workforce education series will kind of reprise later this season. And so keep an eye out for any information regarding our workforce education series that's really digitizing our local fashion industry. So if you work by hand and you're like, I always work by hand, I don't really know how to do 2D or 3D pattern design or digital samples, keep an eye out. We'll be offering those courses again on 3D design, on technical design, digital product lifecycle management, all of these things that will help keep you sharp and keep you ahead of the curve as our industry develops. So I wanted to give you today just a little bit more about our program, what it is that we're doing, how it is that we're doing it, who are we serving, what stages are they happening in, and a little bit of some of our success stories to help kind of underscore that experience. We are in a stage now where things are starting to open up and there's a lot more things going on. We're excited about what the possibilities are, and we're looking forward to being able to support the future of our industry here in Austin. So if you are enjoying this content, you want to find out more about the Austin fashion industry, send us a quick note at fashion.incubator@austincc.edu or follow us on our handles at ACC Fashion Incubator. We'd love to stay in contact with you and connect with you individually about where it is that you are on your fashion journey. Definitely send us a quick note. Again, it's fashion.incubator@austincc.edu. You can like, share, subscribe, or comment, on any of our videos that we do here on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, where we're going live on all channels. And we look forward to connecting with all of you very soon. Again, my name is Nina Means, and this has been Coffee Talk. Have a great week, guys.